Is it possible to love someone you no longer like? This is an interesting question because we all know when we don't like someone. It's a feeling. You are in their space and you just don't like to be around them. Why? Because they rub you the wrong way. And sometimes you don't even know why. What exactly is rubbing you the wrong way? In many cases, you know. Maybe the way they speak, maybe the way they address other people, maybe their principles and the lack of it, whatever it is. Is it possible to love such a person? Of course. Why do I say that? Because love is an attitude, a state of being that you have and you choose to have. It is not dependent on anything external to you. And I always like to explain that by the analogy of an apple, a sweet, juicy apple. It's going to be the same regardless of whoever is trying to eat it. This is how we ought to be. We ought to always love, regardless of who we are around. So, yes, we can love someone that we don't like. We don't like their behavior. We don't like the way they speak. We don't like the way they smell. We don't like the way they argue. It doesn't matter whatever you don't like about them. You can still love them. And how is that possible? Well, remember the definition of love is not attraction. Yes, so sometimes when people hear love, they think attraction. It's not your fault. It's because of all the videos that we've been watching, and all the movies and books. And over time, we have exchanged the words like, and we have exchanged attraction, romantic attraction, or just attraction with the word love. Love is not any of those. Love can have those components in it, but that's not just what it is. So, is it possible to love someone you no longer like? Yes, if their behavior has changed and you no longer like being around them, you can still love them, which is you desire the best for them and you don't withhold it, the good from them, as long as they are willing to get it. And I always say, for a believer, a man or woman of God, the best that you can have for anyone is for that person to listen to God and obey God. That's the best that can happen to anyone, to you, to me, to understand God's love that is demonstrated through Christ Jesus and his death, burial, and resurrection, and to listen to him consistently and obey him. That's the best that anybody can. And so if you can desire that for that person that you don't like, then you love them. And more importantly, if you can make sure that you can still do and you're still willing to do everything within your power to help them grasp that truth and operate in it, then that's still love. Which means you may no longer be able to relate with them as closely as you would like to or you used to, but you can still do what you can. Is it also possible that when you don't like someone, you're not loving them? Of course, you can. And that's why we have to check our hearts. We're not perfect people. We are being transformed into the image of Christ. And so when we find that we don't like someone, I always will ask you, check your heart. It may be you that needs to check why they rub you off somehow. So I have found that sometimes I meet with people who rub me off and highlight my pride. And so I will then deal with that pride. And as I'm dealing with that pride, I find that I'm not so offended by the person as I used to. Romans chapter 5 verse 8, it tells us God shows his love to us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. In fact, it goes on to say we were enemies of God, right? So God is a perfect example that he loves us even when he didn't like our behavior, he didn't like what we embodied. It still loves everyone. If you are dealing with this in your marriage right now, don't wait. Book a free call with us. The link is below. Let's get you some real help.